Hi, I'm Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 3, Section 1, number 43 and 44. 43 reads, in line 42, the author states that a certain hypothesis can be tested by trial. Based on this passage, which of the following is a hypothesis the author suggests can be tested in trial? So we go to line 42. And what we read right here is this hypothesis can be tested by trial, wherein a small number of commercial honeybee colonies are offered a number of perthrum-producing plants as well as typical bee food source such as clover, while controls are offered only the clover. Since it says this hypothesis, we're expecting the hypothesis to be mentioned just before it. Now, before we go there to the correct answer, what we're going to do is we're going to see why the wrong line references are wrong answers, why the wrong answer choices are wrong answers. So, first let's look at answer choice A. Honeybees that are exposed to both perthrum and mites are likely to develop a secondary infection by a virus, bacterium, or fungus. So, honeybees that are exposed to perthrums, for example, are going to develop an infection. Let's see what it says about perthrums in the passage. We see that and I already have it highlighted, it's part of another answer choice, 24 to 26, it says, without at least intermittent feeding on the perthrum-producing plants, bee colonies are susceptible to mite infestations. So what perthrums are doing there is they're preventing the mites. They're not causing them. And it's as if their diet is going to keep the mites away. That's why answer choice A is wrong there. Answer choice B. Beekeepers who feed their honeybee colonies a diet of a single crop need to increase the use of insecticides to prevent mite infestations. It's also a wrong answer. We'll see in lines 31 through 35, which is right here. In addition, immunocompromised or nutritionally deficient bees may be further weakened when commercially produced insecticides are introduced into their hives by beekeepers in an effort to fight mite infestation. So I know there's a bunch of big words here. You could break it down. So you could understand that bees may be further weakened when insecticides are introduced into their hives. So you know that insecticides, as presented in the passage, are bad. So insecticides do not prevent mite infestation. That's why answer choice B is wrong. Answer choice C. A honeybee diet that includes perthrums results in honeybee colonies that are more resistant to mite infestations. We'll hold on that. That looks like a good answer, and we'll look for exactly why that is supported. Answer choice D. Humans are more susceptible to varroa mites as a result of consuming nutritionally deficient food crops. So nowhere in the passage is it talking about human consumption. This is all bee consumption. We see that in answer choice B for number 44. It says, in fact, human mite infestation known as scabies is treated with a topical perthrum cream. Nowhere in this paragraph does it talk about what humans are eating. It just says that humans have this same perthrum that occurs in their cream is the same that the bees eat to keep the mites away. So it looks like answer choice C is our correct answer here. Honeybee diet includes perthrums, results in honeybee colonies that are more resistant to mite infestations. Let's go back to what these lines are saying. It's talking about, so I'm going to read it one more time. This hypothesis can be tested by a trial wherein a small number of commercial honeybee colonies are offered a number of perthrum-producing plants as well as typical bee food source, such as clover, while controls are offered only the clover. So we see that it's talking about what bees eat. So when we look for answer choice A, this is for number 44, these mites feed on bee hemolymph, blood that can kill bees directly or by increasing their susceptibility to secondary infection with fungi, bacteria, or viruses. This is talking about what the mites are eating. They're eating basically the bee's blood, and that's what kills the bees. So it's not talking about what the bees eat. These lines are talking about what the bees eat. If we look at answer choice B for number 44, we already said that human mite infestation known as scabies is treated with a topical pyrethrum cream. It's talking about just humans using a cream. It's not talking about what the bees are eating or not eating. So what we said before is it says this hypothesis. So the hypothesis must be mentioned in the previous sentence. And it's about when bees are eating the pyrethrum producing plants, then are they, we'll see in the previous paragraph, it's really, are they more resistant to the mite infestation? So this is a giant paragraph. I'm going to read through it. We suspect that bees of commercial bee colonies which are fed monocrops are nutritionally deficient. So mono meaning one, when bees are only fed one crop, they're basically malnutrition, they're nutritionally deficient. In particular, we postulate that the problem is a diet deficient in anti-mite toxin pyrethrums and possibly other nutrients which are inherent in such plants. So when diets don't have pyrethrums, pyrethrums are anti-mite, they kill the mites. Without at least intermittent feeding on pyrethrum producing plants, bee colonies are susceptible to mite infestations, which can become fatal either directly or due to secondary infection of immunocompromised or nutritionally deficient bees. That looks like it's our answer. Why? Because it's talking about bee colonies and it's talking about them feeding on pyrethrum producing plants. It's also talking about when they don't, without feeding on pyrethrum producing plants, then they have mite infestations and they could die because of it. All right, so our correct answer here is once again C. Honeybee diet that includes pyrethrum results in honeybee colonies that are more resistant to mite infestations. And the line that matches that is answer choice D for 44. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these paired questions or with science-based questions. If there's any video you'd like to see posted from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, you can post that in the comments. And make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.